Hello, I'm David DeCosmo. Welcome to ECTV Live. My co-host Westy Fender is a little under the weather this week, so we're giving him some well-deserved time off. My guest is Gene Ruff from the Endless Mountains Visitors Center. And Gene, the Endless Mountains is such a great area, but I'm not sure that everybody knows exactly what we're talking about. I think basically starting around the Tunkhannock area, as far as being close to Scranton and Wilkes-Barre.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Actually, the Endless Mountains consists of Wyoming County, Susquehanna County, which is from Forest City up to the New York border, Montrose, that area. And then we go down into Sullivan County, which is actually goes right down towards Lycoming County, which is Williamsport and that.
Right. So, big area, basically three full, large counties.
Yes.
And lots to do there. And since we're in summertime finally, we wanted to talk about some of the things that are available in the Endless Mountain area, because I'm sure that a great number of the people who vacation, be it a full week, be it 2 weeks, be it just a weekend, are from Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, and heading west into the Endless Mountains.
Yes, we do get a lot of people from there, and surprisingly, we get our number one market that we pull from is Philadelphia.
Wow.
Followed by like northern New Jersey. A lot of people that may have been used to going up to the Poconos, things like that, they're coming a little bit further west. Route 6 runs right through our area.
Yeah, beautiful route. Beautiful,
yes,
yeah.
It is gorgeous. And 220 comes right up through our southernmost county, Sullivan County. So it's very easy to get to. And what's nice about it is the scenery. I mean,
yes,
it is absolutely breathtaking. We do have 3 state parks. We have Ricketts Glen, which is known for its waterfalls, and Lake Jean, which is absolutely beautiful. Nice sandy coast there, a little area to go swimming. And then we have World's End, which is sort of down in a little valley or a canyon, and the Loyalsaw Creek runs through that, and there's an area.
There's a lookout on top in World's End.
There are 2 lookouts, and now they just added a 3rd one.
Oh, well, I guess is the oldest and the biggest, and I know it because I was engaged there.
So, was that Canyon Vista? Or
yes, yeah.
Canyon Vista, yes, and they have High Knob Overlook, and now they have one more that they just added this year.
Great.
And then we have Salt Springs, which is up outside of Montrose. Salt Springs is absolutely gorgeous, and what's nice about there, too, is a portion of that is really handicapped accessible. So if you want to go out into the forest and do a little bit of a hike, even if you're in a wheelchair, they have it's known for its old growth forest. So they have some hemlock trees that are over 300 years old.
Oh my word, wow.
And what they did was they built a bridge over the root systems so they don't harm any of it. And now this boardwalk is handicapped accessible. So you can actually go into the forest with somebody in a wheelchair and actually see beautiful, beautiful views.
I can see why you would attract so many people from those really large urban areas like Philadelphia and like the cities and towns in New Jersey and from Scranton, Wilkes-Barre as well, which in terms of the urban setting is, you know, so big building and so high traffic and things, and now you get out into the Endless Mountains where you have, as you say, the scenery. But the surprising thing is that when you're heading into what seems like this pristine wilderness, you're going to find all kinds of attractions. Now, you got to follow the signs, you got to follow the brochures and the roads, but they're not hard to find. And since we talked about it before we went on the air, let's begin with it. There is an air and auto museum near Eagles Mere. Now, Eagles Mere is a place to go, just to go to a great place.
Right.
This was a wonderful vacation spot for Philadelphia people way back in the days when there was railroad transportation into that area. And some of you may know of it from a wintertime activity when the conditions are just right. The fire department up at Eagles Mere carves blocks of ice out of this lake that's there, and they have a toboggan run down this steep street.
Yes, right onto the lake.
Onto the lake. I happened to take some home video right from the front of one of those toboggans.
They go fast.
They do. Yes,
they
they
go
do.
very
Yes,
fast.
they do. And it's a long walk back up, but then you can go again. But at the Eaglesmere area is the Auto and Air Museum. Tell us a little bit about that.
It is a world-class museum, first of all. I mean, it's, you know, you're driving through Sullivan County. Sullivan County is known as the county with one traffic light. One traffic light. And you come upon this attraction that is like no other in the area. It is one man's collection, part of his collection.
Wow.
Which is much larger than that. Philadelphia Inquirer did a piece on it. It's causing a lot of buzz. What's nice is they're only open on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And if you happen to go on a Sunday and the weather's just right, he does fly some of his antique airplanes.
These are vintage aircraft, and we have a program right here in Electric City Television. We did a special at this Air and Auto Museum, so you will catch that here occasionally on ECTV, and it is something to see. Really great.
It is. It's amazing. It is amazing. And it's right near Eaglesmere. Eaglesmere is known for their big old cottages. A lot of the cottages that surround the lake still don't have heat in them. It was really a summer destination, and most of them are rented. So you can rent them for a week during the summer. Fall months are absolutely gorgeous there. They have 2 different bed and breakfasts there. But in its heyday, it was known because it had huge hotels and old hotels and things like that. They also, in Eaglesmere, have a village green where they do 3 different events on it. They have 2 antique shows, and then they have a juried craft show that is absolutely amazing. The little town itself has a great bookstore. They have their own museum that they actually hired somebody from Atlanta, Georgia, to help put this museum together, and it is magnificent. It shows you all of the old hotels. It has interactive displays. Very, very nice.
That's fantastic. Another wonderful spot, if you're heading into the Endless Mountain area this summer, that I would recommend just from being there myself is we have our own Grand Canyon.
We do. We do. Which are you talking about?
Grand Canyon of Pennsylvania.
Well, that is actually in Tioga County.
That's out of your realm.
It's out of my realm.
Stop by there anyway. You'd
It's
really like
right
it.
outside of Wellsboro, right off of Route 6.
Yep.
And it's the Pennsylvania Grand Canyon, and it is spectacular. That is, it's Tioga County Visitors Bureau that does promote that, but it is a beautiful place to go to.
And I'm sure you guys work hand in hand.
We
because,
do. We
again,
do.
these places are so close to together. You know, in a sense, the old timers will remember all the mystique, all the adventure of Route 66. Well, Route 6 is kind of our version of that, only it still exists.
It does still exist. Pennsylvania is unique that we have our own Pennsylvania Route 6 Association. We belong to that, all the visitors bureaus along Route 6, and we help promote it. But Route 6 actually starts up in Provincetown on Cape Cod, and it goes all the way out to California. In Pennsylvania, it's a little over 400 miles from up in the Poconos all the way out past Erie.
Right. It's just a wonderful drive. For those who aren't in a hurry in life, and you want to just kind of drive casually, and you see the small towns. And I mean, little things, and if you're into this, I think you really would appreciate it. I know one of our last drives out in that general area, I saw a small sign off to my right for a covered bridge.
Yes.
And
yes.
Come on, let's make the turn. And you don't see that many of them, but Pennsylvania's blessed with a large number, mostly down in the Columbia County area. Mm-hmm. This one would have been where?
Bradford County.
Bradford County, okay.
Yes, that's in Bradford County. Sullivan County has 3 of them, but they are beautiful. And it's funny you say that. You know, people come to the Endless Mountains, and you know, the first thing is, what do I do with my kids? And my response is, you enjoy them.
Yes.
You do things with your kids. If you're coming to the Endless Mountains, it is to help you experience things and actually be involved. our new marketing campaign is, be here, be in the moment.
Yes.
So many people nowadays with their cell phones and different things like that, they're too busy taking pictures to actually take a look. So, that's one thing when you come to the Endless Mountains. You're not going to have a water park, but you're going to have a lot of different lakes and rivers, and you can go boating and kayaking and fishing with your kids and things like that. We have a lot of fairs and festivals that go on throughout the years. Newer up in our area are wineries and breweries.
Now, I was going to ask about that because it seems to me if there is one really growing aspect of tourism, it seems to be the wine industry.
Yes, the wine industry, and surprisingly the beer industry now too.
Oh.
They're starting, a lot of breweries are starting to pop up. But yes, we have over 10 wineries up there. They run the gamut. You have the wineries that are right on the vineyards, and then like Nimble Hill, they have the vineyards, but that's near their house. So they have a tasting room right on Route 6, and at that tasting room they do their beer, and in another room they do their wine tasting, and it's very popular. The other thing is that probably at least once a month up in the Endless Mountains you can go to a wine festival.
Oh.
So this past weekend there was just a wine festival. I know there's one in July that's going to be down at the Sullivan County Fairgrounds, which is called a Tasteful Event. And there you're tasting local restaurant food, plus you're tasting the wine. And what's nice about our area, we don't have a lot of chain restaurants. The majority of our restaurants are going to be locally owned, freshly prepared food, but very nice and very good.
Sure. Now, another great summer attraction, and the Endless Mountains fits in perfectly with this, would be camping.
Oh, yes. Actually, I'm going this coming weekend. We have a lot of campgrounds in our area. All you have to do is give us a call at our office. We can send you. We do our visitor's guide each year. And then
one of those up here. And
that is our visitor's guide for this year. And then we also do a calendar of events, which has events that go from April through March.
well, now let's mention now, and then before the end of the show, we'll repeat it if you want to, grab a pencil and paper for an address for calendar of events and perhaps a phone number. So let's give it now, and then we'll do it again before.
If you have a computer, it's just endlessmountains.org or endlessmountains.org. You spell it out with an S. Or you can call us. Our 800 number is 800-769-8999. All of our information is free. We do have an office right outside of Tunkhannock, a visitor center that has all of our members' brochures, maps of the area. We even have brochures. We were talking about Tioga County. We'll have their visitor's guide there, different attractions along Route 6 and things like that.
Right. Further on the camping issue, you say there are a lot of campgrounds there. Are you seeing them being utilized quite a bit?
Well, being right on Route 6, it's funny, on a Friday afternoon, you can see the campers driving by with New Jersey plates on them, or, from Pennsylvania. But the campgrounds are absolutely beautiful. We have quite a few that are award-winning campgrounds. Almost all of them have swimming pools, things like that, what you're
yes.
normally accustomed to. And a lot of them have cabins. So even if you don't have a camper or a tent, you can still go camping. You could have, even Ricketts Glen State Park now has luxury cabins, right down to the rustic cabins, which, you have beds, maybe a refrigerator, but you'd have to use the washroom that they have usually at most campgrounds.
Right. Well, that certainly is something that does attract a lot of people, so knowing that that's one possibility. Now, if you don't have a camper and you want to head into the Endless Mountains and stay for a period of time, I don't picture the large Holiday Inns set up along the road every 15 miles.
No. We do have a Holiday Inn. We have a Hampton Inn, for those people who are used to staying in those types of hotels. But then we also have the smaller, what we call country inns, which are absolutely beautiful. And we have over 35 bed and breakfasts. So we have from Victorian to rustic to, Elk Mountain is in our area. So there's a lot of different either vacation rentals or bed and breakfasts up there. Or they even have country inns up there that have, the big fireplaces and things that you would expect. One place that we have is called Fern Hall. Fern Hall is up right outside of Uniondale, and it was Johnson & Johnson's summer home.
Oh.
So it's still standing. It has a 9-hole golf course right on the premises there, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful. A lot of people get married there. They do have a restaurant, and from outside on the patio, you can actually see Elk Mountain.
Wow. And you indicated too, and you said, of course, in the brochure, we're going to find these things, that there are also, in addition to places, there are some very specific events
Yes.
that are scheduled. I wonder if you can give us an idea about some of those.
Okay, coming up this weekend, actually. This coming weekend, which will be June 23rd, I think?
Yes,
It's Founders Day in Tunkhannock. Founders Day, they actually closed down Route 6, the business Route 6. You can still get by Tunkhannock
there's
on the
a
bypass.
bypass there,
Yes.
right.
But business Route 6 through Tunkhannock will be closed down, and there'll be over 150 different vendors. The Dietrich Theatre will be doing their strawberry shortcake that they're known for. There is going to be some walking tours. That's something that the Dietrich Theatre has done. They received actually some grant money from us, from the Visitors Bureau, and they do a walking tour of Tunkhannock. You can schedule that for groups of 10 or more. And all day during Founders Day, they're going to do, first they'll do a talk on Tunkhannock's industrial past. And then they're going to have walking tours that will actually take you, although a lot of the buildings aren't there, they'll tell the story, and they have the old pictures of when the railroad came by and the different hotels that were right along the river and things like that. So it should be a very nice day, great food, great vendors. We have our county fairs that will be coming up.
Before you get away from
Yes.
Tunkhannock, let me say with Founders Day, been there, done that, and it is fantastic. We've had Erica Rogler from the Dietrich on the program here a
Yes.
number of times because the theater in Tunkhannock is actually the cultural center.
Yes.
And so there's all kinds of events that are worked out. We'll have her back again soon, I'm sure. But Founders Day is one of the major events
It is.
that they
It
have
is.
in Tunkhannock. And the walking tour, as you say, that's something fairly new. But there are some very pristine mansions in Tunkhannock.
Yes. And what's nice is they have a whole little booklet that you can pick up at our office. You can pick it up even at the Dietrich. But it outlines the route, and you can take it yourself if you'd like to. But it does give the history of these spectacular homes. There's one Victorian home right on Route 6 that just takes your breath away. Everybody takes pictures of it.
Can't miss it.
No. And when you talk about the Dietrich Theatre, they used to do one film festival. They are now up to 4 film festivals a year. They do 2 large ones, one in the fall and one in the spring, and 2 smaller ones in the summer and the winter months. So the summer one will be coming up shortly, and that'll be a 2-week run. And what's different and nice about the Dietrich Theatre is it is a nonprofit.
Yes, yeah.
It's a nonprofit. So the money that when you go there to see a movie, and they have first-run movies there, when you're going there and you're supporting it, you're also supporting programs that they put on for children in the community all summer long. They have concerts there. They have a number of things. One of the things that they host that will be coming up in July is River Day.
Yes, another major event.
Yes, and it's at Riverside Park, right on the Susquehanna River. There's going to be a kayaking trip before it. They have 3 different bands that will be performing. It's all free. They have educational displays and fun displays, things for kids to do. They'll have Manning's ice cream there. It's a great day, and it's free.
Yeah.
It's something that they put on for the community.
Well, beyond Founders Day and Riverfest and such, you said there are some other festivals and fairs that will take
July
place.
4th, if you're in the area for July 4th, you can't miss Montrose. Montrose every year has a huge parade for July 4th. And if you get there a little bit before the parade is, I'm pretty sure it starts at 11. But the Green in Montrose, they have a craft fair that is absolutely wonderful. The fire company will do a barbecued chicken dinner, so you can get great food. But the parade is like hometown Americana. I mean, it doesn't get more patriotic than Montrose on the 4th of July.
Small town holidays seem to be the better
Yes.
holidays. As you say, it's sort of the way it was in the past, and then it has been preserved in some areas. This obviously would be one.
And then, we have some quirky things that go on up in the Endless Mountains. And one of those happens in August in Dewshore. Dewshore is the community that has the one light in Sullivan County. And they do outhouse races. So they do
I'm reluctant to ask, but I have to.
They do a Founder's Day, and with the outhouse races, they have very specific guidelines for these outhouses. They have to be up to code, so to say, and there does have to be someone sitting in the outhouse. And they race probably about a 2-block area.
How are they moved?
They're on wheels. They're on wheels, and there's a team that pushes them. The other thing that happens that day also is the toilet seat painting contest.
Oh,
So you can enter a painted toilet seat into this contest. Big, it's very big. And then the winners from this year, actually, the next year will be auctioned off. And they're absolutely beautiful. It's amazing.
Well, it's an unusual canvas, but it is nonetheless.
It is very unusual. And then they also have a keg roll, that they roll a keg, an empty keg, I'm sure, of beer. But yes.
And when is that scheduled?
That is the first Saturday in August.
Well,
Yes.
that sounds like a don't miss if I've ever heard of one.
Yes, yes.
I would think that Dewshore would have some sort of festival all based on the one traffic light.
They do. And what's nice is they now have a business association. So usually about once a month they have something special going on. This past month was last weekend. They had a community-wide flea market, but then they had a cow pie bingo.
Oh,
So they had the cow pie bingo, and at night they had the Dairy Princess Parade for and the firemen's little picnic too. So it was a big time in Dewshore this past weekend.
I guess you have the county fair would come in the fall.
County fairs, we have the Hartford Fair, which is up in Susquehanna.
That's one of the oldest, I believe.
It is one of the oldest in the state, and that comes up in July. That is in July. Actually, that's in August. July is the Troy Fair,
Okay.
which is up in Troy, which is Bradford County. But then on Labor Day weekend, we have the Wyoming County Fair and the Sullivan County Fair, and they start the week before Labor Day and run right through Labor Day weekend.
Okay, I know the Wyoming County Fairgrounds is actually just west of the community of Tunkhannock.
Yes, it's actually right at mile marker 300 on Route 6.
And the Sullivan County Fairgrounds?
Sullivan County Fairgrounds are in Forksville,
Oh, yes, okay.
right down from World's End State Park. And if you go to Forksville, the little town of Forksville, there's a covered bridge.
Right, and of course then you're in some of the state park area.
Exactly,
In that
yes.
area. And there are obviously a lot of things to do in the state parks, just if it's merely a day trip, for instance, and you want to have a picnic.
Right.
There's a fantastic thing you can do there. We found in heading down from High Knob at World's End into the lower park area, which would
Right.
be
That's World's End State Park,
yeah,
but down
down the base of the other way.
along the Loyalsock Creek.
I go down the old dirt road from instead of going toward High Knob, we go down the dirt road, and there are two pavilions built there by the Civilian Conservation Corps.
Yes.
Stone pavilions with fireplaces in them.
Yes.
We've actually gone there with friends in the winter, and nobody goes there in the winter, and we have a picnic, and we have decorated the mantle on those fireplaces.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
very nice, yes, yes. And what's nice, too, is a lot of people do family reunions there, and they've built actually more than just the original couple that they had. And that dirt road that you're mentioning is now a paved road, coming down from High Knob. But yes, and they actually even have a little outdoor chapel that people have gotten married
nice.
at
Yes.
World's End, yes.
Yeah.
And what's nice about all the state parks also is that they have a lot of programs that they offer free, especially on weekends. They'll have, programs on different, I hate to say snakes, but they'll have it on different animals and footprints, things like that. They'll do little scavenger hunts. Very informative.
I mean, there's literally thousands of places to visit, thousands of things to do, and it's just a matter of finding out where they are, when they are, and planning your trip accordingly. And again, that'd work whether it's a day trip or a weekend trip or a full week or 2 weeks at a time. There's still plenty that can be done there. But in order for the folks to find out exactly what's happening and when, let's go over one more time how they can get a hold of you at the Endless Mountains Visitors Bureau to find the schedule for these various events, maybe get directions or pick up some brochures.
Sure. Our website, once again, is endlessmountains.org. It is spelled out with an S. We have a lot of mountains, not just one.
Okay.
So it's endlessmountains.org. You can request any type of information for free. And then you can also call us at 1-800-769-8999. And we'd be more than happy to send you out a whole packet of information.
If the sun is shining, you see a guy going by in a little red convertible through the Endless Mountains, waving,
your horn.
and I'll wave.
I'll wave,
Gene Ruff,
yes.
thank you from the Endless Mountains Visitor Center. Thanks for joining us. What a
Yes.
what a great summer it looks like for wherever you're going. But boy, that's just a great direction. Mark McGlory, thank you so much for your camera and lighting work and sound work for us during the program. Hopefully we'll see Rusty Fender back in a couple of weeks. Really give him a little time to take off for himself. I
Recuperate.
think maybe he'll want to go into the Endless Mountains, probably so. I'm David DeCosmo for ECTV Live. Until we see you again next week, here's hoping all your news is good.